I've been told before that these are video essays, and I'm not sure if I agree with that. I somewhat resent it, actually. I think they're more akin to vlogs. I think an essay, by virtue of existing, I feel is more composed. I'm not sure how many of you are in the fan fiction community, but let's be very honest. A great deal of you will be by virtue of liking anime. There are different small categories amid fan fiction that are somewhat distinguishable, like a drabble versus a full text versus the ones we don't talk about. That is to say, videos and talking head videos have been slowly... We don't know how to describe them anymore. We don't know how to categorize them anymore. I think maybe it's the vibe. I was watching a buddy's stream and I recently heard that I have the voice that kind of does science in the way that Vsauce does science, which I kind of appreciate. But I think this is more akin to a vlog. I'm not sure what splits it up. We had this conversation on stream where, by virtue of just existing, it's a video essay about talking on something and communicating something. Essays in their initial form were built entirely to communicate something. I mean, I'm not sure there's an essay that doesn't. When we lived in an era where enlightened individuals would pass papers around a smoking room, you have to imagine they were doing the same thing that we were right now. Exchanging YouTube videos on Discord, communicating different ideas by means of a different medium. So I suppose in that way it can be called a video essay, but I feel like vlog more. There's less weight. I feel like if I made a video essay, you would know. I think it's really cute when individuals say that, like, oh, my stream or my YouTube video is their dose of celerity for the day, because I feel like that's what it is. I feel like I just so happen to be like this, and I hope that you enjoy just the space. That being said, I've had a trouble recently stringing words together. Past couple of weeks, I've had this tightness around, like a band around my crown that stopped me from continuing fluently, and that's been really debilitating, I think, for my mental health. It hit a peak in this most recent week, where I think I ended 2 streams early because I just couldn't go through that brain fog. And I'm wondering if it's just because I've been waking up too early, right? I often talk about how your body is this incredibly specific Swiss watch, high in finesse and beauty, but also high maintenance. You need to do everything right for your body to work optimally in the way it does. And maybe I've been waking up too early. Right? I've been waking up recently at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. because I've been so excited to do these things. But in doing so, I might be cutting in on the time I need to recharge and rest my brain. Like, I'm recording this one now at 8:10, before doing anything else in the day. So I'm hoping that makes a meaningful difference. But no, not being able to speak is debilitating for me, because I feel as though the art form we choose to cope with the world with is whichever one touched us first, is whichever one really impacted us first, the one that makes you feel, the one that is so inviting or so exciting for you that you adopt it as your lens to see the world with, and mine happens to be yapping. I've spoken in a video in the past about having a storyteller really move me and change me by virtue of being so excellent that I couldn't help but want to be like them. I think that's extended to yap. I think that's extended to speaking at length, because I've also been surrounded by great speakers. Career speakers, even, if you can call them that. And whether they were ally or enemy, I loved picking apart what they were saying. I didn't really realize this before this video now, but I think that I make sense of the world through talking like this. And when I lost that, or when I felt as though I'm losing it because I'm not able to string words together, I felt lost. I felt as though the world was ending. How am I supposed to find that again? How does the singer make sense of the world when they can't sing anymore? How does the writer make sense of the world if they can't write? I feel like our coping mechanisms, as broad and as many as they are, whether they come from video gaming or taking a little sippy every now and then, or conversating, they are all incredibly important parts of ourselves that need maintenance. And I didn't know what I was doing wrong necessarily with speaking, but I seek to amend that urgently. I'm not sure how I could cope if I couldn't speak, because it is that essential for me. It is, I think, central to how I perceive and make sense of the world, talking out loud like this. Now, how does that make a vlog different from a video essay? I think it's because it feels as though they come from different traditions. I think when I think of a vlog, I think of very early YouTube where people would just talk, and when I think of a video essay, I think of something with an agenda. I think of something with intent. I think of something that is more writey, right? And while I love writing as well, I think that I would prefer to stay on this side of that video wall. I think I'd prefer to stay from the angle wherein the feature isn't necessarily the point, but it's the words. That being said, I'd like to make a point. I would like to have something to say, but that something to say isn't necessarily a cogent, impactful thing. And I think by focusing on that more than anything these past couple of weeks, I might have been taking the fun away a little bit. Ding ding ding, 10 minutes.